He was a man who walked like a colossus. Indeed, he was one. Dr. S. Pratap Reddy set up the Dhruva College of Management over 3 decades ago. He has built it up as a fine institution worthy of emulation. A man who walked his talk. He did what he thought was right. He spoke what was in his mind and never shied away from calling a spade a spade. Dhruva College of Management is Dr. Pratap Reddy's baby. And as he fades away into the sunset, today we gathered here to pay tributes to the man who really lived his life king size.
students, especially those in Lyra College at Vijayawada. So my industry friend asked me, you help this person. So I started in 76 a college for him, donated 2.5 lakhs those days. Somebody else in Secunderabad gave a free land. With all that input, he could not run it for many years. It was handed over to industrialists. Today it is called Vigyan Jyoti. At JNTU itself, Pratap's own colleague, one Mr. Srinivasarao was the registrar. He started 2 business schools for 2 of his sons. One was Ferguson College. Kumar, whose son was a good friend of mine, he could not run it for more than 7 years. He gave up. I can count number of institutions. It is no joke to build an institution of this type, which Pratap did. Pratap is not a son of any big politician. No, he doesn't come from a political family. He doesn't come from a rich man's family. No, he comes from a very small village. For him to have built such an institution, I know right from 95 when he started this institution, when he was in JNTU, is no joke at all. The struggle that he went through is enormous. He could have built a smaller auditorium. No, he will not compromise on that. He will build big. He could have built a smaller library. No, he will not compromise on that. He will build big. He could have given a smaller server room. He need not have spent so much money. No, he will not compromise. He is a no-nonsense man who will never compromise on anything. He says, I must do the best to my kids, his children, his students. Overall, jokes చేసేవాడిని ఆయన. I am a Sanskrit student also. I written some books on Vedanta and Upanishad. Ayya Pratap garu మీ పేరు తెలుసా అని అడిగాను. Characteristics చెప్పండి. That is very characteristic. చెప్పండి. అందరూ అనుకుంటా ప్రతాప్ అంటే ఏదో గొప్ప చెప్పుకోవడం కాదు. ప్రా అంటే ప్రత్యేకం, తా అంటే తపన. ఆయనకు ప్రత్యేక తపన ఉండేది. ఆయన తపన తను బాగుండాలని కాదు, తన పిల్లలు బాగుండాలి. స్టూడెంట్స్ వర్ హిస్ హార్ట్. హీ వాంటెడ్ టు మేక్ షూర్ దట్ దే ఆర్ వెల్. ఐ టోల్డ్ హిమ్ యువర్ ప్రత్యేకత. మనకందరికీ కూడా వి ఆల్వేస్ లోక సంస్థ సుదీరబోధం చెప్పుకుంటాం కదా. లోకం అంటే ఎక్కడో అంగోలో ఉన్న అర్జెంటీనా ఉన్నవాడు బాగుండాలని కాదు. మన లోకం, మనకందరికీ ఎవరైనా ఏం లోకం, మన తల్లిదండ్రులు, అన్నదమ్ములు, చెల్లెలు, అక్క, ఇన్-లాస్, immediate family, friends in the society, and some colleagues in the office. Maximum అయితే మనం 40-50 మందిని కౌంట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. మనం 40 కౌంట్ చేస్తే ప్రతాప్ గారు 400 కౌంట్ చేయగలరు. That was the amount of lokam. His lokam was that much. English word comes from this lokam. So he had such a enormous capacity to bring in so many people. There are no business transactions. All the 51 years I have not given him 1 rupee, neither has he taken 1 rupee from me. No. There is no business involved. He was not looking for any money from anybody, no. But still, relationship maintained. Anant will tell how long he has been associated with Pratap. So everybody here has been of that nature. He is also an excellent family man. It's not that he was only interested in the rest. Can you imagine my sister getting a PhD degree without the support of Pratap? No way. He ensured that his wife is also academically well acquainted, academically well accomplished, and ensured that she also gets me. Can you imagine Bharat being what he is without him? Bharat symbolizes knowledge. Ba antene knowledge kadadi. Ba is Bharati. Bharat means Ba is knowledge. Rath is chariot. మనకందరికీ తెలియదు భారతం ఈ దేశానికి ఎందుకు పేరు పెట్టారంటే దిస్ country runs on knowledge as the chariot. It's not economy, it's not anything, it's knowledge itself is a chariot. His own son became an epitome of that. So education was the core of him. So such a person to miss is a little difficult. He came all the way home. The last time I met him was when he came to greet me on my 80th birthday when in the high-tech city. From Mitchell to high-tech city all the way. And he was telling, look, health anta bagaledu, 83, 84. This is what he was telling me. 84 ante 3-4 years untanemo annadu. Unfortunately, God had a different will. God called him off in 6 to 7 months' time and said, enough, Pratap, you have done enough, come here and take rest with me. So he is there with me, with him, And let's also wish him well. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Madhavi, and all my dear friends who have assembled here. I first came to know about Dr. Pratap Reddy when my wife joined here as one of his students for doing her MBA. Way back around 2001 probably. So since then we have been in touch. He always had a distinct personality, his perseverance and his doggedness in pursuing anything and everything that he wants to achieve and accomplish. Sometimes it irritates us, but that's what he has been, and that's how he built this great institution. Today, we gather here not in sorrow, but to celebrate the life and achievements of Professor Dr. S. Pratap Reddy. As you all know, he is a visionary educator, a dedicated leader, a compassionate mentor, and a remarkable human being. Many people do not have the intent or the courage to tell on the face of the other whatever he or she feels, but every time he tells, he expresses his views very frankly, sometimes to the discomfort of the other person, but soon we realize that he does it from his bottom of the heart and in the overall interest of the individual concerned. So Dr. Pratap Reddy's journey started from being the head of the School of Management Studies at JNTU. When he wanted to start this college, Dhruva College of Management, he is the founder member, the chairperson of this great institution. It's a testament to his willingness to take risks and his unwavering commitment to the quality education. As one of his friends have just suggested, starting an institution and sustaining it over a period of 30 years is not something easy. Initial enthusiasm, initial passion will soon fade away with the day-to-day challenges that we confront in running an institution like this. But then Dr. Pratap Reddy proved that he is otherwise. He was not just a distinguished academician, he was a force of nature, a strong-willed personality who always believed very passionately in the power of education to transform the lives of individuals. His belief in excellence and quality management education was not confined to mere words, but he lived it every moment, every day, tirelessly building Dhruva College from scratch into a beacon of excellence in management education. Known for his strict discipline and adherence to rules and values, Dr. Pratap Reddy instilled these values not only in the institution, in the four walls of the institution, but he built in countless individuals whose lives he has touched over a period of his life. His personal involvement with each student on the campus, giving them education, giving them guidance and support every moment exemplifies his dedication and care as an individual. Behind every great man, there's a great woman, and Mrs. Pushpalata Reddy stood as a pillar of support and strength for him throughout Dr. Reddy's journey. Together, they set an example of companionship and commitment that inspired not only the admiration, but also emulation among the students. My wife keeps telling every moment the way they make for each other, and then they ran this institution together. They were not just leaders, but they were surrogate parents to many on the campus, nurturing and guiding them throughout their educational journeys. It's not alone when they were on the campus, even off the campus, when they leave the institution, all the students, the alumni, Dr. Reddy used to be in touch and guide them even outside the institution after passing out from the portals of this college. Dr. Reddy's impact extended beyond the walls of Dhruva College. His encouragement and support were felt by individuals like Anita, my wife, who benefited immensely from his guidance while pursuing her MBA at Dhruva College. His legacy lives on through countless success stories of his students who continue to carry forward his vision of excellence and integrity. As we bid farewell to a man who leaves behind an indelible mark on the field of education, let us remember Dr. Reddy not with sadness, but with a huge gratitude for the lives he touched and the legacy he leaves behind. His passion, dedication, and unwavering commitment to quality management education will continue to inspire generations to come. In honoring Dr. Reddy, today, let us pledge to carry forward his vision with the same fervor and dedication that defined his life. At my personal level, me and my wife, we thank Dr. Reddy and Dr. Pushpalata for having been great companions and family friends all through in the last 2 decades of our life. Thank you.
Impacted your life as well as your wife, Mrs. Anita, as well. You are right, sir, when you said that sir has been a mentor, and he has always been a mentor for many, and he ensured that he went out of the way also. He never bothered about his health, whether it is within the college hours or beyond. He ensured that he extended his mentorship beyond. So that is the very reason why we have students from the first batch also who are part of this gathering today, because of the relationship that he has built. Building relationship is not a big deal, but maintaining for all these years, as sir previously said, he's been friends for 51 odd years, and their presence today in this ceremony is a testament what impact sir has created in the minds of so many people. May I now request anybody else who wish to come up on the stage? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. A. Jaganmohan Reddy. My first meeting with the sir was when the Dhruva College used to work from Kachiguda. At that time, I was working with Institute of Public Enterprise. Neither I was a student nor worked with him, but he gave me an excellent opportunity to attend a strategic management subject session when he invited somebody from abroad. I think we had that session at Salajing Museum. That's how he became my mentor, and he used to give me some assignments. ఒక రకంగా చెప్పాలంటే సార్తో నేను మొన్న మేడంతో కూడా షేర్ చేశాను, భయంతో కూడిన గౌరవం. Because the standards he used to set up for me for drafting an article or writing something. I always used to be scared, despite me being from JNU Delhi and all that background and all that. So 2 or 3 things impressed me. I keep sharing with my students at Engineering Staff College also. Number 1, his passion for excellence. He never used to compromise. He never hesitated in scolding me left and right. In fact, when I was working with Symbiosis, when the director of the institute, Mr. Jain, was trying to introduce me to Pratap Reddy sir, he said, "Jagan gurinchi nu naaku cheppedi enti?" He used to remember the people actually. And the second thing is that his knack of identifying the talent and nurturing it. The moment protocol he saw me first time when I was at IPE, he said, Jagan, you have that passion for writing. Please, why don't you protocol continue to write and all that. And the third, when I became a visiting faculty at JNTU, I came to know about the other side of sir. That's about his charity. One peon, working as supporting staff, he shared with me that when he wanted his son to join this Dhruva, he was scared of paying the fees. So it seems he called sir. Sir, నా దగ్గర డబ్బులు లేవు, మరి అబ్బాయిని మీ దగ్గర చదివించాలి. పంపించరా నువ్వు. And that is the greatness. When other big schools, I'm not trying to criticize them or complain them, that when they insist on cutting money, here is a man who is there to facilitate students growth management. Mahendra Reddy garu correct ga cheppinattuga, as far as me is concerned, I am sure wherever sir is there, he'll continue to inspire me, he'll continue to mentor me. But the best way of paying our respects, Mahendra Reddy sir cheppinattuga, let us carry forward his legacy. Om Shanti.
You rightly said, sir. We are sure and we'll definitely take his legacy ahead, because as we all know, he has been a perfectionist and he did not ever want to compromise on anything, be it one small article also. He made sure that every article, every syllable is in place, and he would spend extra time. He would give his 100% beyond 100% and ensure that it is perfect. So we are really honored. Everybody is really honored to have sir around him to mentor, to guide, and somehow impact our life. So we feel very privileged and blessed to be a part of his life.
Good morning, everyone. This is the time when we remember Dr. Reddy, how wonderful person he was. I knew him when the college was on the first floor of a building in the city, Hyderabad city. But he had a vision at that time that he wants to build a institution which is excellent. Give me some ideas. We will discuss. It is worth seeing, even if you go to the dining hall of this institution, everything is best there. I had number of time lunch there in the dining hall. It was wonderful. One of the few institutions which has all the facilities. And he will always tell me, I want the best, give me ideas. We will discuss. Even he will come to my home to discuss. Last he came to my home when he was not well. He said that he has some blood cancer. He's not well. But still he was active. He came to our house. We discussed many things. I still remember at inauguration here, I was one of the invitee and spoke. And he presented to me a tea mug where we are shaking hand, a picture engraved on the mug. And I still every day have tea in that mug where we have shaking hand, our picture is there. And I have my tea and every day I remember him and I talk about him. And he was a builder, he had a vision. He will always tell me, I want the best, give me ideas. He will tell me what in curriculum, what innovations I should have. We will discuss those. So he wanted everything best. He said, give me ideas and I will try to implement. A great vision he had. From a very small college in the first floor in the city, and then here a great institution. It's worth seeing. You see the classroom, you see this hall, you see their dining hall, everything is best. And he will always tell me, give me ideas, I will implement if I am able to implement that. So he was a wonderful person. Apart from that, he was a good human being. Both his wife Pushpa and he were wonderful people. and we kept contacts. Every now and then we will meet and discuss. And always he will say, give me ideas how I can further bring innovations in the institutions. What kind of faculty we should have. He said that we will have facilities for the faculty to stay here also, build houses. And he will say he wants the best. Hostel is worth seeing for the students. So he had a vision. He was a great builder and always think of what further innovations I could have. And a good family man, good builder, good visionary, and a very good friend. Wonderful friendship we had, and we will miss him, miss all. Together we used to discuss what innovations are taking place in building the institution, what changes even politics about Prime Minister or other. He will keep abreast with everything, not only here but even in abroad. In fact, he wanted to name it as Peter Drucker Institution, but then there was problem that you can't use Peter Drucker name in that institution. So then it became Dhruva College. He was a builder, a great visionary, a great family man, and we remember him. We will miss him. Now, I wish Dr. Pratap Reddy, whichever ward he is, I wish him all the best. He has gone to a different ward, maybe better ward, though we miss him, but we wish him wherever he is all the best. And thank you, all of you. We have come here. Thank you very much.
Good morning to all of the people who are assembled here, the students, the faculty, the friends, the well-wishers, professors from all over the world has come here. It's a very, very sad day for all of us because we are missing a very, very vibrant friend. It's a very unusual man. In fact, my first association, probably the longest association of the friends, for the last 54 years we are together. We were together working as lecturers in that time Nagarjuna Sagar Engineering College. It was very short duration, 1 year. I just worked with him for only 8 months. But that time I just left the job and went for some other jobs and totally disconnected with the education institutions. But still we kept contact for the last 54 years, especially for the last 14 years. Probably nobody is meeting as frequently as we were meeting. Almost every week once we used to meet, either at my house or at his house. I am totally on the industry side, he was on the education side. He has great, great qualities as people told her. I have intimately observed her. He is so determined person that whatever he wants to do, he will do by hook or crook. He will go to any extent, whatever is the loss. Sometimes he is like a brakeless driver. And in fact, the hand brakes was only Pushpa. Otherwise, sometimes he will crash. He was so speedy. But he was very fortunate to have Pushpa his wife because many times he was brakeless. He was going with high speed and he wants something, he will try to achieve it by any means. And for him, the cost is not important. As many people said, he used to treat as children his family. 99% he was talking only about students, their welfare, the people who have left the institutions. In fact, hardly he spoke about Bharat and his daughter, maybe daughter sometimes. But most of the times he would talk about his children, the children who were studying, children who left long time back, 30 years back, 20 years back, 40 years back. Some JNTU students used to come to the campus somewhere, somebody is in Australia, somebody is in Canada. He just visited here, he will spend one day here with him. So that is the biggest wealth he has created for himself. So he has created a big vacuum for this. In fact, this institution, he tried to copy, as that professor says, like ISB or something else. I used to joke him, you are too small, why are you just imagining such a big thing? Because this institution can probably run on 2-3 engineering colleges. Probably others will accept. Many engineering colleges doesn't have these facilities. And he's hardly having 60 students or 120 students. This is the extravagancy. You can see the hostel, especially the hostel. I don't think even ISB has got that type of hostel. Library, he was very proud. I have so many lakhs of books. How can you contribute? He used to ask everybody, how can you contribute, build my library? So he is a tremendous institution builder. And he never said that I want a profit from this. I don't know, very rarely you will see, as a businessman, I used to oppose him, saying that you run a business, you run for profit. If there is no profit, how you will run it? Say, for me, there is no profit required. But first motto, you put India's first business school where I don't want money. I don't want to make money. I want to build institutions. In fact, last few years, he has become so much nationalistic about our culture, about our religion, and he has propagated, he was a very great scholar actually. In fact, many don't know, he has a lot of linguistic talent, especially Hindi, English. He is very passionate about the languages. But what he doesn't know, he is to go to the computer and search for various analogies and try to learn till his death. And he never bothered about death. I am closely intimated, we used to closely converse, but he was never afraid I am going to, but the last minute he said, it is better to go instead of struggling. So he is the person who dictated his life and others' life also, because he never sacrificed anything. Even if he loses money, in fact, you people may not know, he was a staunch Telangana person. But when he joined at JNTU, 90% were non-Telangana. 99% was non-Telangana lecturers. Only with 3 were there. So 3 mosquitoes, small people, because all our professors, we were just assistant lecturers. But that time also, he was so ferocious. He was so self-confident fellow. He never, bow his head to anybody. Even if somebody, highest man comes, he will stick to his point and see whether he loses or wins. He sticks to his point, and all through his life he dictated. He never sacrificed anything, and he never wanted anything from others. He wanted to give to the society, especially he trained so many hundreds and thousands of students who owe him, because he was treating children not like as students or something like that. He used to mentor them and parent them. If somebody is in problem after marriage, the students who left some marriage problem is there, they will also come to him for marriage counseling. So he has gone beyond a teacher or beyond an institution builder. He is a counselor. He was taking care of friends, students, especially students, and his colleagues. He used to bring all his friends who were lecturers working somewhere all over the world, bring them to the college and impart the knowledge to the students. How many professors can do it? How many institutions are doing like that? That too on his personal reputation. So it's a great, great void living here. And Bharat, and you have big role. How to take the legacy forward? Your mother is alone. Okay. You should take, of course, Ravindra is there, he is supposed to be there, but how to take this legacy forward? How to see that his goal, his ambition for the nation, his ambition for the children welfare, for the nation building, I think every one of us have to learn from him and carry forward his legacy. So in what way we can help, everybody should ponder it and see that what he has done, what he has left behind, how to carry forward. Because it's a big institution, it's a very big institution. It is not a small one. In fact, his canteen, if somebody sees, even big industry, I was also running big industries. I never had such a big canteen. I was having 3,000 people working under me. But I didn't have these facilities. So he definitely cared for others, cared for the society, cared for his personal this thing also. Let us see that we carry forward his legacy. We remember him for great time. In fact, always when he come here, he is the lifeline here. He used to drive everybody. We were all only just follow him. That's all. So we are losing a very great personality. The last visit was to my house only. Afterwards, he became sick and he couldn't move out. So let us pray for his soul and see that his family gets all the support and they run the legacy. Thank you.
My name is Madhavi. I am daughter of Dhruva College Pratap Reddy. I have been saying that on the phone last few weeks. So that is how I think I would rather be known as Dhruva College Pratap Reddy's daughter. There is a lot of things that my brother and I have learned in this visit. In the last 6 weeks, we have reinvented our father. The father we knew growing up until we moved to America. We just thought strict, disciplinarian, tough love. But in the last 6 weeks, the number of students that have come to visit him while he was still breathing and since his demise, it's overwhelming because some of them have cried their tears out, and I wonder what is going on. There is so many stories I could tell you all, but my father, the selfless man he was, which my brother and I didn't understand until 11 days ago. He treated every student of his from 1971, so 53 years of students, like his own. It didn't matter, they were not his biological children. ఆయన పిల్లల్లాగానే అనుకున్నాడు. నన్ను భరత్ని ఎంత శ్రద్ధగా పెంచిండో మా పప్ప, అంతే శ్రద్ధతోటి ప్రతి స్టూడెంట్ గురించి ఆలోచించిండు. I think that is a very, very unique quality. And college, like Anant Reddy uncle said, I don't think he ever, and ఇది కూడా నాకు చాలా లేట్ అర్థమైంది, ఇది ఒక బిజినెస్ లాగా స్టార్ట్ చేయలేదు పప్ప. He is an educationalist, and that is how he wanted to remain, and he did till the very last breath. And talking about today, I don't want us to be morose and sad. My father, Dr. Pratap Reddy, lived a very grand life. Coming from nothing, literally, the second son of an agriculture family in a small village, Tirumalgiri, Nalgonda district. He is the first person in the family to have had some education, not just some. He went on to study engineering at Usmania Engineering College, then MBA, then PhD. And as if that was not enough, he started his own institution. Like Anant Reddy uncle said, this is not a small task. This is, like uncle said, the canteen, the auditorium, the campus. Again, it doesn't matter how many students are here. They are all my father's children. It doesn't matter how old they are. That is how he will be remembered, and that is what Bharat and I want for him. And please, this is not a condolence meeting. We are here to celebrate a man that lived to be 80 years old. And the day before he was hospitalized, on the 9th of June, 8th of June, my father climbed the stairs. So he had cancer for the last 22 months, but that did not stop him from dreaming big or accomplishing anything. Again, if there is anything that my brother and I should learn from my father, never ever quit. My brother and I think we said, we're settled, big deal. Papa never settled. Papa, if he was alive today, he would still have a goal for tomorrow. That is how Papa lived his life. And I think, unfortunately, I feel sad. I wish I knew more of my father when he was here. But my father is with me. Again, this institution, my mother, my brother, and I, he will always be guiding us. My father has a way of getting things done. He has always had, he will always be there to guide us. Again, please call this a celebration of his life. Thank you all so much. My father's life needs to be celebrated, is worth celebrating. Like I said, he was climbing stairs until 8th June 2024. So yes, the last 5 weeks of his life was difficult, but he tried to fight as long and as hard as he could. Only when he decided that this fight was not worth it anymore, he decided to withdraw all treatment. And like I said before, he lived a grand life. His exit was quite grand too. I don't know how many of us can even dream of living a life like him and exiting like him. Thank you all so much.
For coming today and speaking. We have a few of our family also will be talking about that, but for me, I think among all the things, the biggest thing is reinventing my dad last 11 days was the biggest thing me and my sister found out. Like in terms of the number of people that really, the number of students that admired him and were really like, were so sad that he left this world. That is, I think, one of the biggest things, and a lot of other things like the philanthropic things that he did the last 20 years, including the free education for a lot of students, a lot of non-teaching faculty at Dhruva, and being just a selfless man, and a lot to learn from him. And without much ado, I won't take a lot of time, but I would like some of our family to also speak about it.
And all that I said is actually coming from both Bharat and I.
Yeah.
We have thought this through over the last few weeks, and we really, really admire. We've always adored him, but I think the admiration is at a different level now. Thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah.
నా పేరు కరణ్ మోహన్ రెడ్డి, రిటైర్డ్ టీచర్స్ ట్రైనింగ్ కాలేజ్ ప్రిన్సిపల్. నేను 1959 నుంచి ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారితో కలిసి ఉన్నాను. పుష్ప ఆ ఇంటి కోడలు కాకముందు నుంచే ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు నాకు మిత్రుడు, రూమ్మేట్ కూడా, బంధువు కూడా. ఆ తర్వాతే ఆయన మా ఇంటి అల్లుడు కావడం జరిగింది. ఆయనతో ఉన్న జ్ఞాపకాలు చిరకాలం గుర్తుండిపోయేటువంటివి. ఆత్మీయులు దూరమైనప్పుడు వారి జ్ఞాపకాల దొంతరలు మన మనస్సును కకావికలం చేస్తాయి. అటువంటి సందర్భంలో మౌనం తప్ప మాటలకు ఆస్కారం చాలా తక్కువ. కథ, కథనం, దర్శకత్వం అన్నీ పైవాడి చేతుల్లోనే ఉంటాయి. ముందుకు సాగడమే మనం చేయవలసిన కర్తవ్యం. జాతస్య మరణం ధ్రువం. మరణం అన్నది పుట్టిన ప్రతి ప్రాణికి తప్పదు. కానీ ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు 80 సంవత్సరాల వయస్సులో మరణించడం అన్నది మనమందరం ఎవ్వరు కూడా ఊహించని విషయం. కనీసం ఇంకొక దశాబ్దం కాలమైనా ఆయన మనతో పాటు మన మధ్య కొనసాగుతారని భావించాం. కానీ ఇంతకుముందు మాధవి చెప్పినట్లు 22 నెలలుగా మల్టిపుల్ మైలోమా అనే క్యాన్సర్ డిసీజ్తో ఆయన యుద్ధం చేసి, ఆ యుద్ధంలో చివరికి అస్త్ర సన్యాసం చేసి హాస్పిటల్లో అనారోగ్యం చుట్టుముట్టినప్పుడు కూడా ఆయన ఎంతో ధైర్యంగా మరణాన్ని ఆహ్వానిస్తూ, నాకు ఏ ట్రీట్మెంట్ అవసరం లేదు, నన్ను ఇంటికి తీసుకెళ్ళండి, ఆత్మీయుల మధ్యనే నా చివరి క్షణాలు గడపాలని ఆయన ఆకాంక్షించడం, మరి మరణాన్ని ఆహ్వానించడం. 21 సంవత్సరాలు ఇంటికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత కూడా ప్రతిరోజు అనాయాస మరణం నాకు ఎలా లభిస్తుంది అన్న చింతతోనే తాను చివరికి తుదిశ్వాస తీసుకుని ఇటువంటి సందర్భంలోనే బుద్ధ భగవానుడు ఒక మాట అంటాడు, వేదన లేని మనస్సు, చావు లేని ఇల్లు ఈ ప్రపంచంలో ఎక్కడైనా ఉందేమో చూపించు అని తన శిష్యుణ్ణి ఓదారుస్తాడు. పోయినోళ్ళందరూ మంచోళ్ళు, ఉన్నోళ్ళు పోయినోళ్ళ తీపి గుర్తులు అని ఒక సినీ కవి చెప్పినటువంటి ఆ మాటను మనం ఆవాహనం చేసుకొని పోయినోళ్ళ జ్ఞాపకాలను మనం పదిలపరచుకుంటూ వారి ఆశలను ఆశయాలను ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్లడమే వారికి మనం అర్పించే నిజమైన శ్రద్ధాంజలి కాగలదేమో. కనులు తెరిస్తే జననం, కనులు మూస్తే మరణం, ఆ రెంటి మధ్య ఉన్న స్వల్ప సమయమే జీవితం. కనులు తెరిస్తే ఉయ్యాల, కనులు మూస్తే మొయ్యాల, రెప్పపాటు సమయమే జీవితం. జీవితం బుద్భుత ప్రాయం. జీవితం గురించి తెలుసుకోవడము అంటే నిన్ను గురించి నీవు తెలుసుకోవడమే. నేటి మీ జీవితం నిన్నటి ఆలోచనల ఫలితం. రేపటి మీ భవిష్యత్తు మీ రోజువారీ దినచర్యలోనే ఉంటుంది. ఉత్తమ జీవితానికి మార్గం విజ్ఞానం, ప్రేరణ, ప్రేమ అని గుర్తించండి. రక్త సంబంధాలకు విలువనివ్వండి. ఒకే తల్లి కడుపులో రక్తం పంచుకొని పుట్టిన వాళ్ళు ప్రాణం పోయేంత వరకు ఒకరితో ఒకరు కలిసే ఉండండి. ఈ జన్మలో అన్నదమ్ములుగా అన్నా చెల్లెలుగా పుట్టిన వాళ్ళు మరు జన్మలో ఎవరు ఎక్కడ పుడతారో ఎవరికీ తెలియదు. అందుకే రక్త సంబంధాలకు విలువనిచ్చి ఊపిరి పోయేంత వరకు అందరికీ అభిమానాన్ని పంచండి. మన జీవన సహచరి మనం కోరుకున్న వ్యక్తే అవుతుంది, కానీ మన తోబుట్టువును మాత్రం మనం కోరుకున్న వాళ్ళతో ఉండడం జరగదు. అది దైవ నిర్ణయం. కాబట్టి ఆ దైవ నిర్ణయాన్ని ధిక్కరించకుండా దాన్ని మనం పాటించి మన జీవితాంతం కలిసే ఉండేందుకు ప్రయత్నించాలి. ఈ ఒక్క విషయంలో మాత్రం మా బావగారు ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు ఎందుకో ఒకంత వెనుకబడ్డారని నాకు అనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. సరే, దానికి కారణాలు అనేకం ఉండొచ్చు. పుట్టేటప్పుడు ఏదో సాధించాలి అని పిడికిలి బిగించి మరీ ప్రాణం పోసుకుంటాం. పోయేటప్పుడు సాధించింది ఏమీ లేదు అని అరచేతిని ఆకాశానికి చూపించి ప్రాణాలను వదిలేస్తాం. మనం పుట్టినప్పుడు ఎవరెవరు వచ్చి మనల్ని చూసి వెళ్ళారో మనకు తెలియదు. మనం మరణించాక కూడా ఎవరెవరు వచ్చి మనల్ని చూసి వెళ్తారో కూడా మనకు తెలియదు. కీర్తిశేషులు సంకేపల్లి ప్రతాపరెడ్డి గారు మన మధ్య భౌతికంగా లేకపోయినా వారి ఆత్మ ఈ ధృవ కాలేజీ చుట్టూ, కుటుంబం చుట్టూ, ఆత్మీయుల చుట్టూ పరిభ్రమిస్తూనే ఉంటుంది. చిరంజీవి, పుష్ప, మాధవి, భరత్ వారికి వాళ్ళ నాన్న ఒక జ్ఞాపకం మాత్రమే కాదు, గుండె చప్పుడు. ఇలాంటి విషాదకరమైన సందర్భంలో మాట్లాడడం కొంచెం కష్టమే అయినా మనసు దిటవుపరుచుకొని మాట్లాడక తప్పని పరిస్థితి. ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు తమ కుటుంబ సభ్యులతో బాల్యం నుంచి ఇటీవల వరకు గడిపినటువంటి అమూల్యమైన అనుభవాలు వారి మనసుల్లో చిరకాలం నిలిచిపోతాయి అనడంలో సందేహం లేదు. ఆ మధుర స్మృతులను నెమరు వేసుకుంటూ ఆ కుటుంబ సభ్యులందరూ కూడా తాను స్థాపించినటువంటి ధృవ కాలేజీని మరింత ఉన్నత దశలోకి తీసుకువెళ్లేందుకు కృషి చేయాలని, ఆ కృషి చేయడంలో వారికి కావలసినటువంటి శక్తి సామర్థ్యాలను భగవంతుడు ప్రసాదించాలని నేను మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కోరుకుంటున్నాను. ఇక పుష్ప గురించి 2 మాటలు. కన్నవారింట్లో అల్లారు ముద్దుగా గారవంగా పెరిగిన పుష్ప 17 సంవత్సరాల వయస్సులోనే తిరుప్రాయంలోనే ప్రతాపరెడ్డి గారిని వివాహం చేసుకుని మెట్టినింట్లో అడుగుపెట్టింది. మెట్టినింట్లో అడుగుపెట్టిన తర్వాత మెట్టినింటి కుటుంబ సభ్యులందరినీ తన వాళ్ళుగానే భావించింది. భర్త హోదా, ఆస్తులు కాకుండా తన మీద నమ్మకంతో సంసార జీవితాన్ని ప్రారంభించింది. అలసిపోయి ఇంటికి వచ్చినప్పుడు తల్లిలా సంకేపల్లి సత్యమ్మల లాలించింది. సమస్యల్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు తండ్రిలాగా అంటే సంకేపల్లి రామకృష్ణారెడ్డి గారిలాగా బలమిచ్చింది. భర్త ఇష్టాలనే తన అలవాట్లుగా మార్చుకుంది. భర్త తప్పు చేసినా మన్నించింది. కుటుంబ బాధ్యతలను నెత్తిన వేసుకుని కుటుంబాన్ని చక్కదిద్దింది. భర్త అంతరంగాన్ని అవగాహన చేసుకొని అందుకు అనుగుణంగా ప్రవర్తించింది. భర్త ఉన్నా లేకపోయినా తనతో విడిపోని అనుబంధాన్ని పెంచుకుంది. వంశాభివృద్ధికి బాసడగా నిలిచి భరత్, మాధవి లాంటి రత్నాల్లాంటి బిడ్డలకు జన్మనిచ్చి మాతృత్వపు మధురిమను సంపూర్ణంగా అనుభవించింది. మాటలో చెప్పాలంటే చిరంజీవి పుష్ప ప్రతాపరెడ్డికి భార్యగా లభించడం అన్నది పూర్వజన్మ సుకృతము, అదృష్టము అని చెప్పక తప్పదు. నువ్వెంత కష్టపడే వాడివైనా, నువ్వెంత తెలివైన వాడివి అయినా, నీకెంత అదృష్టం కలిసి వచ్చినా భార్య సహకారం లేనిదే నువ్వు ఏ రంగంలోనూ రాణించలేవు. తన భర్త ఆదాయాన్ని, ఖర్చులను గమనిస్తూ తనకు సంబంధించిన ఖర్చులను తగ్గించుకుంటూ కుటుంబాన్ని ఆర్థికపరమైన ఇబ్బందులకు గురి కాకుండా చూసుకోగలిగే భార్య దొరకడం అన్నది నిజంగానే ఒక గొప్ప అదృష్టం. అర్థం చేసుకునే భార్య దొరికితే అడుక్కు తినేవాడు కూడా హాయిగా జీవిస్తాడు. అహంకారి భార్య దొరికితే అంబానీ అయినా సన్యాసుల్లో కలవాల్సిందే. మరి తన మనస్సులోని బాధని కళ్ళల్లో చూసి చెప్పకుండానే గుర్తించగలిగిన వ్యక్తి జీవిత భాగస్వామిగా దొరకడం అన్నది నిజంగానే ఒక గొప్ప అదృష్టం. చిరంజీవి పుష్ప భర్తతో పాటు ఇంటి నిర్వహణతో పాటు కాలేజీ వ్యవహారాలన్నింటిలో కూడా పాలు పంచుకొని కాలేజీ వ్యవహార దక్షతను అంతరించుకున్నది. ప్రతాపరెడ్డి గారి అనుపస్థితిలో కూడా చిరంజీవి పుష్ప కాలేజీని సమర్థవంతంగా నడపగలదనే నేను సో ఈ కళాశాలలో ఇప్పటికే 30 సంవత్సరాలుగా అనేక మంది విద్యార్థులు వాళ్ళ జీవితాలను మెరుగుపరుచుకొని సమాజానికి సేవ చేస్తున్నారు. మరొక దశాబ్దం లేదా శతాబ్దం పాటు ఈ కళాశాల ఇలాగే వర్ధిల్లాలని, ముందుకు సాగాలని, అందుకు అవసరమైనటువంటి శక్తియుక్తులను భగవంతుడు మాధవికి, భరత్కు, పుష్పకు ప్రసాదించాలని మనసారా కోరుకుంటూ సెలవు.
Dr. Lakshmipati sir to say a few words.
It would normally be very difficult to speak on such occasions. In fact, most of us are all faculty members. We're all used to speaking. I know I've heard S.V. Subramanian Garu so many times and several others. But today I don't want to, I can also talk for hours together about Pratap, as I used to call him. In fact, he insisted that I call Pratap because he practiced whatever he taught and he always gave me that status. Now, people have talked about how he loved his students as his children. I remember when Kachigoda, when he was there, he used to sometimes subtly go downstairs, take a look at all the motorcycles, and if any motorcycle didn't have a helmet, he used to note that number, come upstairs, call up the parent, and then tell them your son does, or your daughter has come with all this. That's the love he had. There are any number of occasions, events, memories that all of us will be able to speak about. In fact, the biggest tribute was when he had the first batch of alumni getting together for the Silver Jubilee Union. Not a single person missed attending that. And that, of course, is a Guinness Book of Records which he used to get held in the silver times. But I'm not here to talk about memories. We can always talk about memories. Every one of us here is a person whose life he has touched in multiple ways, whether as a friend, as a father, as a principal, as an institution builder, whatever it is. But what I'm here to talk about is to talk about the future and to make this a grand event, like Madhavi very correctly said. May I request all of you to kindly please stand up? Every one of you, thank you so much for standing up. Now I am going to take an oath, and all of you who would like to, who feel that it should be done, may also take that oath And that oath is that as long as I am alive, I will support and keep the vision of Sunkepalli Pratap Reddy alive and make sure Dhruva prospers more and touches more and more lives. May he live long, and all of us are with him, though he is not here. This is an oath I take. Jai Hind. Please say that. Thank you.
Lakshmipati sir. May I now request Lekha ma'am to say a few words?
As everyone has stated, it is very tough to say something for just a few minutes about a person of the stature of the chairman sir. He has taught me personally so much. One of which is that students will always be our brand ambassadors. Whatever we do, it multiplies when we give them love, when we give them attention, when we give them care. And that has been proved time and time again in my own life. I remember looking around at this hall and asking him, sir, why do we need a place like this? And he said, it doesn't matter for today, it's for tomorrow. And if you look at everything, he has actually, created everything with thought. I don't know whether you've noticed the stairs coming up and down. And he said, no, I need to tell people which is the entry up, which is the entry down. There is a beautiful statue, a bust of Saraswati Devi that is right there. And we always had to go across and, pay our obeisance to her before we started a class. Each of these levels here is not just a plain facade. He made it such that he says people who are sitting there need to have something nice to look at. So even the way in which he designed each of those rows, the colors that he has used, the little bit of gold, he was a perfectionist in everything. I don't know, just look around you and look at the way in which it's done. Look down and see the way in which he's demarcated areas. He said this is going to be the walkway that is there. And so there is this little bit of, the granite which is going to be separating the tiles. His pride and joy, the kitchen, is so clean that it puts all of us to shame, right? It's so beautiful. I remember he always used to make sure that anyone who comes to Dhruva has to have a meal here. It doesn't matter. And if you can't have a meal, like I had to always rush back home, he used to insist on getting at least 2 or 3 dishes packed for me and my mother. And he used to make sure that it's in the car before I even get out. Whenever there was pachipulsu made, he used to know that I used to like it. And he said, you have to have the pachipulsu today. I don't care how, but you need to have it. His attention to little things, even over the heat of the summer, not just tea and coffee for the students, but actually giving them buttermilk. And the students used to love it. And I used to say, please, can you leave a little bit for me? And he used to make sure that it used to get sent to the classroom. When my class was large and I had 180 students taking consumer behavior, he said, I know you can't do it in the place there. So he made sure that I would talk here and all the students were here, come from behind. And he never used to enter the class unless he was dressed the way in which I used to demand my students would be dressed. So he'd be standing outside. I said, so, sir, please come in, it doesn't matter. He says, no, you demand that the students have to be in proper shoes and trousers and all that. How can I come in? So, he was that kind of a person. Yes, you're right. He has been an institution builder, but more than anything, he has built lives. And it is my urgent plea to every one of us, especially the faculty who has stood by him over the last 2 years. I know it has not been easy for you, but you have been there. All the students who are coming in as well and the students who are part of this batch, we have a huge responsibility to take Dhruva ahead. He is a brand, a personal brand that has immense impact, immense reach, and a tremendous stickiness. When he says come, you have to come to the college. There's no way in which you can avoid it. It's unimaginable that a person who has, been an academician, has started a college like this. It has survived, as many people have stated. It has not been easy, neither for him. But I have rarely seen a college started by an academician where the person has given up his own personal wealth, I would say, and luxury, and wanted to live. And ma'am, of course, is amazing to have stood by him in that. but come and be part of this entire campus, to stay within the hostel day in and day out. Especially over the last few years, it has not been easy for him, but he refused to leave here. Even till the last month, he was here in the campus in the afternoon if he couldn't come, in his office in fact. Even if he couldn't come every day, he would be here. And he would know exactly what is happening everywhere. I've loved being here when he was here, and I hope and pray that we all continue to love being part of Dhruva, and we have to make it our life's achievement. Thank you so much, all of you. And like we've said, this is a celebration of a person's 80 years of devoting himself to academics. Thank you.
Today is a day to remember, celebrate, as you rightly said, the spirit of Dhruva, which is seeded by a passionate vision of Dr. Pratap Reddy. Dr. Pratap Reddy and Dhruva are synonyms. He lived by it. He breathed Dhruva all the time. And every conversation with him finally comes to Dhruva ke liye kya kar sakte hain? What can we do for our students? He has, as all the well-wishers, family members, friends, so many people gathered here have shared their thoughts and talked about his qualities. Perhaps one distinct quality which I want to share with you is his tolerance for disagreement, and I am the example. I have got an opportunity in year 2010 to work with him for a very brief period, 6 to 8 months I guess. Lekha was there. We were partners in crime, and we were trying to do something, and when in his words he said Dhruva should not be less than ISB. Very lofty vision. But I think, sir, visions have to be lofty. And he never felt sorry about it or apologetic about it. He said, Karenge yaar, we will do it. Cheddam, emundi. I had a lot of disagreements with him. And he would actually make me sit in the RK, Chappandi, in his own inimitable style. I left the place in pursuit of my ambitions, but I always had reverence for him. And look at a person, my professional association is only 6 to 8 months, 2010 to 2024. When I met him last time, Priya Iyengar and myself came to pay a visit when I was told he was not well. I moved to Delhi a couple of years ago. So when I came to Hyderabad, she told, sir is not doing well. So we came home, we spent time with him. Even then, he was saying, no, you should not forget Dhruva, you should be part of Dhruva and all. And Madam Annapurna, almost like a mother to me. In fact, sir and madam had a disagreement on my exit. So I took advice from Madam M. Chemantaru, said your ambitions are more important. Dhruva is your home. You are part of family. You will remain that way. But go and pursue excellence, pursue things that you want to do it. As an individual, I don't know, words will fall short if I have to describe him as an individual. But his investment or emotional balance with people is reflected here, and thousands of people. Somebody gave a count in the morning. Manaki 40 mandi teliste ayaniki 400. Sir, 4 lakshara mandi, sir. The kind of lives he has touched is amazing, directly and indirectly. I in fact called Lekha the other day because I landed in Delhi, and this week was a very loaded week because we are up for inauguration of our new campus in Greater Noida. I said, what do I do? She said, just come. I was reminded of one discussion I had with him. This was part of disagreements. I'm sure as children you must have fought with him, and I can identify with you on that. He said, RK, I don't know what you will do. When I leave this world, on 11th day, you will get a call. You must be there. Those words ring in my ear. I took a late night flight at 3 o'clock, landed this morning. And I'm so happy that I'm here in celebrating his life, his work, his passion. And I, in front of you all, and with Madam, I pledge whatever support as an academician. I've been part of academic fraternity for the last 25 years. Dhruva will remain my family, and I'll be part of the Dhruva family. and in whatever way I can support, I'm just one call away. Another aspect I think I must share, he is large-hearted, or rather regal. Regality is defining word for him. He lived by that high standards, but very simple living. And his reverence for my son, youngest son, he was a young boy, 5-6 years old when he came to the campus, and he recited Vivekananda's those lines, where mind is without fear and so on the August 15th. So he said, Veedu na koduku, RK, you have lost right on him, he is mine. So every time he calls me, he says, Mayank's father. He has that very interesting style of doing it. And every time he said, how is Mayank doing? How are studies and all that. And greatest, I would say, high I had is he came home along with ma'am when, to our housewarming ceremony. Very difficult to find such people who can shower love and affection even with people who disagree with him. That is his tolerance for disagreement. George Bernard Shaw said, celebration of being alive. Sir, here, Dr. Pratap Reddy's life is celebration of beyond life. We will remain celebrating this as Lekha suggested, and we also pledged. I once again thank the family. I thank myself that I took a decision to be here today, this morning, and I pledge my support in whatever way possible to ensure Dhruva celebrates next 30 years also, all of us together. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Dr. Jain. To add to this celebration, may I please invite Mr. Jaydev Goteti. He is the student from the second batch of Dhruva College of Management. Mr. Jaydev.
My name is Jaydev. I am from the second batch of Dhruva College. I came from Pune today morning. As we celebrate Sir's wonderful journey and his accomplishments, for me, I only have those fond memories with him as my teacher. And I still remember whenever I visit him, my memory is sitting in that chair in that room downstairs. What's even inspiring for me after almost 2.5 decades is his attention to detail, compassion and determination. Those are the things that I have always learned from him, and I was always in touch with him, and those interactions are so inspiring and so heartwarming. Years later, he still remembered what I used to get in my lunchbox, and some of those memories are so rich, and it's as if they were yesterday. There was a very interesting instance how much he cared for the students. He used to teach us operations research, and there was one particular concept on queuing theory which I never used to get that. And I used to tell him, sir, enisal chestunna ide answer vastundi. And he would not leave me. After the class, he would call me to his room, made me sit beside him, and he ensured that I got that concept. Like a small kid in the kindergarten, that was his passion and how much he cared. So as we celebrate his journey, I wish Dhruva the very best, and once we are part of Dhruva's family, we are always part of Dhruva. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Jaydev Garu. I now invite Ajay from 2014-2016 batch.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Actually, వచ్చేప్పుడు నేను ఇంగ్లీష్లో మాట్లాడదామనే మనసులో చాలా ఆలోచనలతో వాటన్నిటిని కాంటెంప్లేట్ చేస్తూ ఇక్కడ వరకు రావడం జరిగింది. కానీ నా తండ్రి ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారికి అనంతరెడ్డి సార్ ఇందాక చెప్తున్నట్లుగా తెలంగాణ భాష యాస అంటే కూడా ఆయనకి అత్యంత ప్రీతిపాత్రమైంది. ఇజంట్ ఇట్ సార్? అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఇట్ ఈస్. అయితే నేను 2014-16 బ్యాచ్ నుండి పాస్ అవుట్ అయ్యి వాళ్ళ ఈ స్టేజ్లో ఉండడానికి గల కారణం ఇస్ దిస్ మ్యాన్ డాక్టర్ ఎస్ ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు. అక్కడ ఇన్ లవింగ్ మెమరీ అని ఉంది. సో లవింగ్ మెమరీ కాబట్టి కొన్ని చిన్న లవింగ్ మెమరీస్ మిమ్మల్ని అందరినీ చాలా ఆకట్టుకుంటాయని ఆశిస్తున్నాను. ఇక్కడ ఎంతోమంది చాలా చాలా దూరం నుండి ఎక్కడి నుంచో ఆల్రెడీ వెళ్ళిపోయిన వాళ్ళు ఉన్నవాళ్ళు, అది ప్లేస్మెంట్ ఆఫీసర్స్ కానీ ఫ్యాకల్టీ కానీ, ఐ స్టిల్ రిమెంబర్ One of my guest faculty was Lekha Sister Ma'am. We were so touched by her teachings, her sessions. చాలా ఇంపాక్ట్ చేసినాయి మమ్మల్ని అందరినీ. సో ఐ స్టిల్ రిమెంబర్ ఆల్ దోస్ మెమరీస్ చాలా ఫ్రెష్గా. అయితే నేను ఎటువంటి వాడిగా ఉండేనంటే ఐ వాజ్ వెరీ ఇన్కన్సిస్టెంట్ ఇన్ మై లైఫ్. I started with BSc Biotechnology, discontinue. Then I moved to BNYS, discontinue. BSc Yogic Science, discontinue.
Sorry for interrupting. My father had one request in his last few days, that everyone who attends the 11th day ceremony should enjoy a mojito. It's a cocktail drink on his behalf. They are serving mojitos in the back of the auditorium. Please enjoy, because that was his wish. Thank you.
అదండి ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు అంటే అలా ఉంటుంది ఆయనతో. అయితే నేను చాలా ఇన్కన్సిస్టెంట్ లైఫ్తో ఈ కాలేజ్లో అడుగు పెట్టడం జరిగింది. గొప్ప సాక్ష్యం ఏంటంటే కొన్ని సంవత్సరాల క్రితం నా కన్న తండ్రి ఇక్కడ ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారితో చెప్పిన విషయం ఏంటంటే, ఆయన కాళ్ళు మొక్కి ఈ విషయం చెప్పాడు. అయ్యా, నేను అనుకున్నా నా కొడుకు ఎప్పటికీ బాగుపడడు అనుకున్నాను, వాడి జీవితంలో ఏది చేయడనుకున్నాను, ఒకే ఒక్క దగ్గర నిలదొక్కుకోగలిగిందంటే అది మీ దగ్గరనే అయ్యా, ఇంకెక్కడ వాడు కన్సిస్టెంట్గా లేకుండే అని చెప్పి ఆయనకి దండం పెట్టి కాలు మొక్కి ఈ విధమైనటువంటి సాక్ష్యం పంచుకోవడం జరిగింది సార్తో. అయితే ఐ కమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ పొలిటికల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఫ్యామిలీ. మై ఫాదర్ కమ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ వెరీ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్షియల్ ఇది. సో ఐ వాజ్ వెరీ టఫ్ టు హ్యాండిల్ ఇన్ దోస్ డేస్, చాలా రఫ్ అండ్ టఫ్. ఎప్పుడు కాలేజ్లో ఇప్పుడు ఈ పోడియం దగ్గరికి నేను ఫస్ట్ టైం వచ్చినప్పుడు, దో ఐ కమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఏ పొలిటికల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఫ్యామిలీ, లోపల పబ్లిక్ స్పీకింగ్ అంటే దంచి పడేద్దాం రాబోయే అన్నంత ఫీలింగ్ తోటి రావాలని ముందుకు వద్దామనంటే, వెన్ ద ఫస్ట్ టైమ్ ఐ హర్డ్ డాక్టర్ ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు స్టాండింగ్ ఆన్ ద పోడియం అండ్ టాకింగ్, నా గాలి మొత్తం దిగిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ వాజ్ మీ, ఐ హ్యావ్ టు కమ్ అండ్ టాక్. సో పోడియం దగ్గరికి వస్తుంటే ఇప్పటికీ ఆ మెమరీ నాకు చాలా ఫ్రెష్గా ఉంది. నేను ఎంత బలంగా మాట్లాడగలనంటే నా నర్వస్నెస్ మొత్తం బాడీలో మొత్తం షివరింగ్ కనబడుతూ ఉండే. దెన్ హీ స్టార్టెడ్ స్టేటింగ్ దిస్ కోట్. ప్రతి దువ్వనికి ఇది వాళ్ళ రక్తంలో, వాళ్ళ కణంలో ఇమిడిపోయి ఉంది. డోంట్ కేర్, ఫేస్ ద బ్రూట్. సార్, ఈ పోడియం నాకంటే హైట్ ఉంది సార్, నేను మాట్లాడలేను సార్ మీరు ఇట్లా హూ ఈజ్ హూ దట్ యు ఆర్ అఫ్రేడ్? డైరెక్ట్గా చెప్పాల్సి వచ్చింది సార్, మిమ్మల్ని చూస్తే భయం వేస్తుంది, మాట్లాడలేకపోతున్నా. ఆయన చెప్పిన డోంట్ కేర్, ఫేస్ ద బ్రూట్, హీ సెడ్ ఐ ఆమ్ ద బ్రూట్, ఫేస్ మీ ఐ సే అంటుండే. ఐ సే ఫేస్ మీ అని నన్ను ముద్దుగా, మీరందరూ నాకు చూడొచ్చు, నాకు 6 ఏళ్ళు ఉన్నాయి, నన్ను ముద్దుగా అజయ్ అనే దాంతో పాటు అరే ఎటువాయరా 6 ఏళ్ళోడు ఎటువాయ అంటుండే, చాలా ప్రేమగా పిలుస్తుండే. చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజ్డ్గా ఉండే ఆ వ్యక్తి, నన్ను చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజ్ చేస్తుండే. నేను మస్తు టార్చర్, ఎంత టార్చర్ అనుభవించిన అంటే, నేను 3 సార్లు నన్ను సస్పెండ్ చేసిండు కాలేజీలోకి వెళ్ళి, 3 సార్లు. మళ్ళీ ఇవాళ ఎంతమంది స్టూడెంట్స్ని ఆయన గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటున్నారో ఏంటో తెలియదు, కానీ ఆయనకి నన్ను చూడాలనిపించినప్పుడల్లా, గోపాల్ రెడ్డి అన్న సాక్ష్యం మీకు తెలుసు, కారు ఇచ్చి పంపిస్తాడు. ఎక్కడున్నావు రా ఒకసారి కాలేజీకి అంటుండే. సో నేను ఎక్కడున్నా సరే పిలిపించి, సార్ నేను రాలేని స్థితిలో ఉన్నాను అంటే కారు ఇచ్చి మరీ పంపించి నన్ను కొద్దిసేపు పిలిపించుకొని కూర్చోబెట్టుకొని, దాని తర్వాత నా తండ్రితో ఆత్మీయ అనుబంధం ఏర్పడి, నా కన్న తండ్రికి హీ బికేమ్ ఏ పొలిటికల్ మెంటర్. మా నాన్నకి ఒక అద్భుతమైనటువంటి సత్యం చెప్పింది ఏంటంటే, రాజకీయాల్లో మా తండ్రి గారు బట్టి జగపతి తండ్రి గారు విలువలతో కూడుకున్న రాజకీయాలు చేసేటువంటి వ్యక్తిని ఆయన మొత్తం పొలిటికల్ కెరీర్ని తిప్పిపడేశాడు. అయ్యా జగపతి, రాజకీయాలంటే అవకాశం అయ్యా, విలువలతో కూడుకున్న రాజకీయాలు ఇప్పుడు లేవు, నువ్వు అవకాశవాది అయితేనే నువ్వు రాజకీయంలో ఉండు, లేకపోతే వద్దు వెళ్ళిపో బయటకు అన్నాడు. అప్పటి నుంచి ఆయన చనిపోయే ముందు వరకు కూడా జస్ట్ ఒక 4-5 months 6-7 months బ్యాక్ అనుకుంటా, మా తండ్రి గారితో నేను ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినప్పుడు రమ్మన్నారు, చూడాలనిపిస్తుంది అని వచ్చినప్పుడు, జగపతి నువ్వు మంత్రి అయిన తర్వాత నేను చావాలనయ్యా, నేను అప్పటిదాకా నేను చావా అన్నాడు. నేను ఒకవేళ చచ్చినా సరే నేను చెప్తున్నా, నేను నీతోటే ఉంటా, నా ఆత్మ నీతోటే ఉంటుంది, నా ఆత్మ నేను నిద్రపోని, నువ్వు మంత్రి కావాలి అని అన్నాడు. ఆ మాటలతో మా తండ్రి గారిని అలా చెప్పి బాగా బలపరిచి పంపించడం జరిగింది. మా ఫాదర్ ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు చనిపోయిన రోజు నేను ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినాను. ఎంతగా వస్తూ వస్తూ ఏడ్చినాను, ఇక్కడికి వచ్చి ఏడ్చినాను, వెళ్తూ ఏడ్చినాను, రాత్రంతా ఏడ్చినాను, ఏడ్చి మొత్తం నా ఒంట్లో నుంచి కంటి బొట్టు ఎండిపోయింది. అంతగా ఏడ్చి, అంటే ఎందుకు అంత ఇంపాక్ట్ చేయగలిగాడా ఈ వ్యక్తి అని అంటే అసలు ఇప్పుడు ఇంతమందిని చూస్తేనే అర్థమవుతుంది. ఎందరికో ఎన్నో మెమరీస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎంత ఇంపాక్ట్ చేశాడు ఆ వ్యక్తి అనేది. చాలా 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 ఇంపాక్ట్ చేసింది. ఒకసారి అంటుండే, ఇప్పుడు అందరు అంటారు కదా వాళ్ళ పిల్లల్లాగా చూసుకున్నాడు. మీకు ఒక ఇన్సిడెంట్ చెప్తా ఏం జరిగిందో. ఎప్పుడు అంటుండే ఐఎమ్ యువర్ ఫాదర్. అరే ఏం తలకాయ నొప్పిరా భయ్, ఊకే తండ్రి ఫాదర్ అంటే ఏంద్రా బాబు. నేను కాలేజ్లో అనుకుంటుండే. అయితే ఒకసారి ఇట్లాగే కాలేజ్ ఏదో ఈవెంట్ ఫంక్షన్ దాని మీద ఫ్రెండ్స్ అందరం బైక్ మీద బయటికి వెళ్తే ఏదో కాలేజ్ పని మీద ఒకసారి కుక్కట్పల్లి సర్కిల్లో పోలీసు వాళ్ళు పట్టుకున్నారు మమ్మల్ని. అంటే ఒకటి రాంగ్ రూట్ పోయినా అది, రెండోది ముగ్గురం, ఒక హెల్మెట్ లేదు ఏమీ లేదు నెత్తికి. పోలీసు వాళ్ళు పట్టుకున్నారు, కీస్ తీసేసుకున్నారు. అరే సార్ ఎప్పుడు ఫాదర్ అంటాడు కదా భయ్, ఫాదర్ అంటే మరి ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేస్తారు కదా, చేద్దాం రా భయ్ అని చెప్పి నేను ఫోన్ చేసిన సార్కి. డైరెక్ట్గా ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి సార్ ఫోన్ చేసి, సార్ ఇది పరిస్థితి, ఇప్పుడు ఏడున్నావు అంటే, సార్ అది ఇలా పలానా జాగాలు ఇక్కడ ఉన్నా సార్. సరే ఆ పోలీసు ఆయనకు ఫోన్ అన్నాడు. పోలీసు ఆయనకు ఫోన్ ఇచ్చిన. కిందోళ్ళు ఎట్లనే చాలా ఓవర్ యాక్షన్ చేస్తారు కదా. ఇప్పుడు పెద్దోళ్ళు అంటే వాళ్ళు పద్ధతిగా మర్యాదగా మాట్లాడతారు, ఏ సిఐఓ డిఎస్పీ అయితే హెడ్ కానిస్టేబుల్ ఎవరో తీసుకున్నారు, ఆయన మాట్లాడాడు, ఈయన మాట వింటలేడు. ఎస్ఐకి ఇచ్చిండు ఆయన కూడా ఈయన మాట వింటలేడు. సరే నాకు ఫోన్ తీసుకున్నా, నువ్వు 5 నిమిషాలు ఆన్లైన్ నిలబడవు అన్నాడు. 5 నిమిషాల్లో ఈయనకు ఫోన్ వచ్చింది. 5 నిమిషాల్లో ఫోన్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత అక్కడ సబ్ కంట్రోల్ రూమ్ ఉంటుంది కదా ప్రతి ట్రాఫిక్ సిగ్నల్ దగ్గర, అందులో కూర్చోబెట్టి కూల్ డ్రింక్ తాగిపించి తాళాలు ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళే హెల్మెట్ కొనిచ్చి నాకు హెల్మెట్నిచ్చి నన్ను పంపించడం జరిగింది. ఏం జరిగింది ఆ 5 నిమిషాల్లో అని అంటే డైరెక్ట్గా డీజీపీ ఆఫీస్ నుంచి ఇలా ఫోన్ వచ్చింది. అంటే అంతగా ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ చేశాడు నన్ను. ఒకసారి ఇట్లాగే ఒక డాక్టర్ అపాయింట్మెంట్ కోసం 6 నెలల నుంచి ఒక 3 నెలల నుంచి ఆ 3 నెలల 6 నెలల మధ్యలో అంటే ఒక 3 to 6 months ఐ వాజ్ వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్ అ డాక్టర్స్ అపాయింట్మెంట్. చాలా బిజీ పర్సన్ ఆయన, చాలా బిజీ పర్సన్ మన ఇండియాలో. ఆయన వరకు తెలిసింది, పిలిచాడు క్యాబిన్లోకి. ఏమో అపాయింట్మెంట్ గురించి చూస్తున్నామంట కదా అన్నాడు. అవును సార్. నా సర్ప్రైజ్కి ఏంటంటే ఆ డాక్టర్ నంబర్ ఈయన ఫోన్లో ఉందన్న సంగతి నాకు తెలీదు, ఆ డాక్టర్ ఈయన శిష్యుడన్న సంగతి నాకు తెలియదు. టక్ ఫోన్ కొట్టిండు, ఎట్లున్నావు అది ఇది అని చెప్పి మాట్లాడేసి, సరే నా పిల్లగాడు వస్తాడు, నా కొడుకు లాంటోడు, ఇట్లా పేరు ఇది అంటే, ఆయన దగ్గర అపాయింట్మెంట్ తీసుకోవాలంటే నేను పేరు చెప్పదలుచుకోలేదు ఎందుకంటే చాలామందికి తెలుస్తుంది. 5 గంటలకి మనం వెళ్ళాలి. 5 గంటలకు వెళ్ళేసి టోకన్ తీసుకొని ఎక్కడో మళ్ళీ 12, 1 గంట, 2 గంటలకు, 4 గంటలకు, 5 గంటలకు ఎప్పుడు దొరుకుతుందో అపాయింట్మెంట్ తెలియదు. అట్లాంటి పర్సన్ దగ్గర నాకు అపాయింట్మెంట్ తీసుకొని డైరెక్ట్గా ఏం అవసరం లేదు, జస్ట్ ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి అనే విజిటింగ్ కార్డ్ తోటి ఆడ పోయి ఎక్కడ చూపించగానే వాళ్ళు లోపల తీసుకొచ్చి ఎంతమంది అయితే టోకన్లు తీసుకొని రెడీగా ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళందరినీ పక్కకు పెట్టేసి నాతో ఒక 20 నిమిషాలు కూర్చున్నాడు ఆ డాక్టర్. దాట్ ఈజ్ డాక్టర్ ఎస్ ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి. అంతగా ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ చేశాడు. అండ్ ఫైనల్లీ ఐ వుడ్ వాంట్ టు క్లోజ్ దిస్. థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ ది ఆపర్చునిటీ. మా అమ్మ పుష్పలత రెడ్డి గారు లేనిదే ధృవ లేదు, ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి గారు అస్సలకి లేదు. చాలామందికి తెలిసిన వాళ్ళకి ఇది బాగా తెలుసు. సో అమ్మగారికి నిజంగా మ్యామ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ స్టాండింగ్ విత్ మై ఫాదర్ ప్రతాప్ రెడ్డి సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ మ్యామ్. డోంట్ కేర్, ఫేస్ ద బ్రూట్.
Thank you, Ajay, for giving us a small glimpse of the tough love of Chairman sir. May I now request Dr. Vipin Gupta sir from USA. Dhruva has had a very long-term association with Dr. Gupta.
It has been said that today is not a condolence but a celebration. Condolence is for a person who has not fulfilled his life goal and has not completed whatever journey one started with. Dr. Reddy is one person who has completed his goal, and that's why this is a moment of celebration. I met Dr. Pratap Reddy in 2001 when we were doing some research on CEOs in India, and he immediately sent a couple of his faculty members to attend the workshop, and after that he said that I'm going to study all the CEOs in Hyderabad, not just 40 that I requested. He said that I'm going to invest my own money and I'm going to do this not only in Hyderabad but also Andhra Pradesh, because this is a way for me to inspire my students inspire and develop my faculty, and really bring Dhruva to the vision that I'm looking for. And he moved 100% towards that vision, and he gave me the respect of becoming the chair of the academic council. And throughout all the years, he always reached out to me in showing whatever he was doing and requesting the feedback on how things could be improved. It has been said that this is a non-profit organization, and at least one person mentioned this is not just a non-profit organization. This is a place where he actually sponsored and funded students' fee completely. Even though it says that the tuition fee is 5.8 lakhs and up to 2 lakhs scholarship, very few know that whenever a student walked into his room and said that I don't have the money, he would pay the entire tuition fee. And when one student shared that feedback with other students, and virtually every student came and asked for full concession, and he did not charge any money. So this institution has been built completely from the funds that he has saved. And Dr. Pushpalata Reddy always kept on saying that we have to live very simply. And that was his motto, that I'm not going to spend on anything, I'm going to come here, and whatever money he had, he actually invested completely in the students' lives and faculty lives. And he was very fascinated whenever any person who was associated with Dhruva went to greener pastures, and he was the first advocate. I think the only regrets that he shared with me was when some people that he supported left without giving any gratitude to him. And he said that that really hurts because if they had told me, I would have been first in the line to help them grow to the next level. And they didn't have the courtesy to even give me that respect. And I think that was the only time that he was a bit disappointed. And he always went and did things which were totally impossible. And there was one time that was our 10th wedding anniversary, and my wife is here, and both Pushpalata Reddy and he considered her their daughter. And we requested that can we go and attend Tirupati Ji and have a darshan in our 10th anniversary. And then my wife said that can we have a special darshan? And he assumed that special darshan is a 4 a.m. darshan for which there is a 30-year waiting line. He said that I never even imagined, even for Pushpa madam and me, to ever think of going there. And he never asked anybody for help. And it turns out that Dr. Mahendra Reddy Garu was the one managing that institution, and he reached out to him, and there was just one cancellation a day before. And so we ended up attending 4 a.m. darshan on the day of our 10th anniversary. Okay, so that was the kind of person he was. And then last year I met him, I had come here, and he had indicated that I would like to meet your father. And I went home, and my father is 84 years old, and I told him that Dr. Reddy wanted to meet you. And he immediately called Dr. Reddy, my father, and said that I will take the flight and come and meet you right now. While Vipin is here, he has one day free. And Dr. Reddy said, no, it's raining very heavily here in Hyderabad. I would like to see you, but not in, this is not going to be healthy for you. So please don't come. And so he was very, very perceptive. And then 2 years back, I asked him that what is your vision for Dhruva? You have taken it to a level of excellence, and what is your vision? And I suggested to him that there is a contact a university in Australia, which is the largest university, private university in Australia. They would like to have collaboration and maybe kind of lease the facilities and run it at Dhruva and take it internationally. He said that if anybody else has said, I would never agree to this, and because this is my child. But because Dr. Vipin Gupta is saying, if they are willing to purchase it outright and make me chairman for life, then I'm willing to consider this proposition without any restriction, and I'm going to not charge anything for Dhruva College of Management because that is my baby. That's not something for sale. Okay, so I'm just going to transfer that, and of course, then we didn't pursue that further. But that's the kind of love he had for Dhruva. So that essentially, both for Bhakti and I, we are totally we stand with Dhruva for whatever help is needed, and we celebrate here. Actually, one more thing which I want to say, that this visit, it was planned, my India visit was planned about 3 months. I'm here for 1 month. After a long time, I have not come for 1 month for a long time. Maybe after 20 years, I've come for 30 days. Each and every day, I'm traveling to different institutions, delivering faculty development workshops. It turns out that today was the only day in my entire itinerary that was left free 3 months back. Each day, I'm traveling tomorrow morning, I'm going back to Delhi, I'm again traveling to Cochin, and so today was the only day left. And so Dr. Pratap Reddy wanted me and Bhakti to be here, and so he already communicated that please let today be free for us to celebrate here. Thank you.
Dr. Vipin Gupta, I have to say this. Your sir has a way of getting things done. This day was left open because your sir knew. It is amazing. I don't know how he does what he does, but he has a way of getting things done. Getting people that he wants to be present where he wants them. Thank you.
Celebrate the life of my mama Pratap Reddy Garu, and my father and Pushpalata Garu are sisters, so that's how Pratap Reddy Garu is mama. They're siblings, so that's how Pratap Reddy Garu is mama. Looks like I'm going to get a lot of assistance now. So, anyway, having said that, there are 3 things that I think I observed about my mama. One is he is extremely passionate, thoroughly determined, and one of his character that most of you have not probably seen, and maybe family has seen more, is he's very childlike. And why I say that is, his passion is shown through his work, his college, his determination. He wouldn't care if he needed to get anything done. He would just go meet those people who need to be met. Didn't care about who would think what. I mean, that's something that he had, so he got things done. But he was very childlike when it came to family. The tough love that my Madhavaka was talking about, he's turned soft over the last 2 decades. And unfortunately, they both were in the US, but I was here, I was in Hyderabad, so I used to meet him a lot. All that soft love was received by me and some of my cousins too. And when I say childlike, he would call my mom, Priya, I want to play a game of Rummy. Organize it today evening. And my mom used to call all my relatives, my mama, my atta, my brother's mama and my brother's atta, 2-3 other families. A lot of people who played with Rummy are here, with him Rummy are here today. You should lift your hands if you're all here in recognition of my mama. So his passion for Rummy was amazing, and he was a sore loser in Rummy, if you notice. He didn't like to lose. I mean, if you lost, then he would feel bad. He'd probably go take a nap for an hour and then come with a fresh round of a game. He was very childlike like that. And my Mata used to, when he used to come home, my Atta used to be around him. Why are you eating that sweet? You eat that sweet. You trouble me for the next 3 days. Don't eat that sweet. He used to just wink at me sometimes and eat it off anyway. So that was him. That was his style. He had a lot of milestones that he achieved in life. Most of it has been stated here, but I think one of the thing that he did, which according to me has astonished me, has shocked me, to take a decision on his death. He took the call. He said that, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to. He could have easily lived, I think, another 4-5 years if he would have followed on. But he said, no, I don't want to be remembered like this. I think, and it did not come from a place where he said I had done enough in my life. It didn't come from that. He basically said that, look, if I want to live, I want to live on my terms. And if those terms are not met, that I would just want to go. And that astonished me. That really astonished me, because that third trait which I felt was childlike. Initially I thought, oh man, it's a childlike decision he took, but I don't think so, because he never reverted from the call he took. He took it all the way. And that came as a surprise, as a shock, but at the same time I think my respect for him has gone by heaps and bounds. I don't know anybody else who would do that or who will do that, but that was amazing. I mean, you just heard people saying that he got an appointment for a doctor whenever he wanted. He got an appointment for whoever, wherever, however he wanted. But when it came to him, when it came to his life, he took decisions that were tough. And I think I appreciate the way he did things. Ma Pednana talked extremely well. It was very heart-touching the way he spoke about my atta. A lot of people say, behind every man there is a woman and all of those things. But you know what? My atta was not behind him. My atta was not supporting him. My atta was alongside him all the time. So I think all the faculty and Dhruva and everybody who's there, you don't need to worry. She's right there. She's going to take it up. And I asked her, what are you going to do? And I think she's very clear. She wants to do what she wants to do with Dhruva. We also, one thing that I call my mama, we all called him the tiger. When he came, there was a sudden presence around you. There was a spurt of blood that used to run through your veins. You be aware what you're speaking, what you're not speaking. So the tiger only has tiger kids. The cubs have grown, although in the US. So I think the kids are smart. They're very well settled, but that will not stop them. I don't think the goals that Mama set is only for him. It's for them also to take it forward. And alongside my atta, they will support. And I think this college will see, this institute will see a great deal in the future. Thank you one and all. Thank you for having me here.
Good morning, everybody. I happen to be a colleague of Pratap Reddy. We joined the then Nagarjuna Sagar Engineering College, 1968. Later on, we converted the college into JNT University, and I retired 25 years back from JNTU. I was a professor of civil engineering and director. He was my colleague, junior colleague, professor of mechanical engineering to start with. Then he became management faculty. He is very, very open and very close associate with everybody who were very, very long ago we joined. About 20 faculty were only there in JNTU when we joined. So I feel sorry. I wanted to meet him 1 month ago. So he sent me the message that he is not well, advised not to come and meet me. I join all of you in this meeting, which was condolence meeting, but some people said it will be a happy occasion to continue his mind game and all. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Hello, my name is Ravindra Reddy. Dr. Pushpalata Reddy is my elder sister. I am the brother-in-law of Dr. Pratap Reddy. You are all seeing that in loving memory, because he lived like a king, and he was very keen that this should be a celebration. That is why it's a loving memory come celebration, not the condolence. My Bhavaya, Dr. Pratap Reddy is almost 10 to 11 years elder to me. But today I am really feeling pride, not now, almost last 1 or 2 decades. Because of why I am feeling pride is because of Dhruva College. This Dhruva College started 30 years back. Why I am feeling pride is Dr. Pratap Reddy Garu, before starting day later, we had a meeting in my house. He said, I wanted to start a management college. We had a lengthy discussion. On the whole, I don't want to tell what happened, but from that day onwards, he worked hard. Within 1 year, he could be able to get. But there is some contribution from my side to have all. That is why I feel pride that I to have some participation in the beginning of Dhruva College. When this college grown in such a way, where I contributed 1.5%. Therefore, I am feeling pride of it. Another thing I am feeling pride is, though I am 10 years younger to me, somehow we recognized, most probably, which I was not recognizing myself, when before my marriage, when I was hardly 26 or 27, some of his real problems of family, means his brothers and other things, he used to discuss with me, and I used to give, as if I am a great man, I used to give advice. And he used to appreciate my advices, okay, whether he followed it or not. Same, because of that reason only, he discussed about the college with me also. I may be a little bit selfish or boosting myself. Pratap Reddy garu teacher to everybody, most probably somewhat I have become that little bit advisor to him. That's why I feel pride, saying that that's great gentleman which proved such a great way, where I had a good relation, not like a brother-in-law, something else. Now I will come to other way, where 81 years means about a month back. He lived like a king, and he joined in a wonderful hospital which was having a very, very, very good facilities. Recently come in the Yashoda of Madhapur area. He was getting a wonderful treatment also. He was getting a treatment, but his body was not really cooperating that great. He was suffering. Most probably I felt Emma Bhattu have come, but he never allowed them to come into inside. I asked him, first you stand outside. He tried treatment for a week. Then he felt it may not be appropriate for me to give such great punishment to my body, though my brain is working very, very sharply. Because why I am saying sharply means, whenever we are going and meeting, he is talking, though his body is not doing well, everything is remembering. He was able to convey things very, very, and sometimes he was joking also. That's why I said that his brain was so sharp until the end. Then once he started feeling that my body is not, I am unnecessarily punishing my body, I don't like this type of life to continue. Whatever happens, let it happen. Then he declared himself with the family, I am not interested in taking the treatment whatsoever, let it happen. We felt that it is a just decision, but it's not a just decision, it's a strong decision. And that day his close friend, Dr. Navneet Sagar Reddy, has come when he has taken this decision. He requested, not requested, he ordered, saying that what way you will do, I don't know, I want this. Ultimately, whole family was, particularly my sister and daughter and Madhavi, son Bharat. It was a very, very tough decision for them to take a decision saying that let the treatment should be abandoned. But it happened because he told. Hardly after the treatment is over, then he came to Dhruva College. He stayed for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks here. Then he left this world. But what he said, today the way Madhavi told, saying that some drink is in memories because he likes. Don't celebrate, only you celebrate my 11th day, but don't try to make it a condolence. That is why the memories and loving memories we are talking. I felt by reading my brother-in-law, for the last most probably 50 years, his capability is much higher than what he was doing. When he was in 4th year or 5th year of engineering, Usmania, he participated in 1969 Telangana agitation rigorously. That is why he got arrested. He was in the jail for almost maybe 1 or 2 months. The later, he joined Nagarjuna Sagar Engineering College, now JNTU College, as an assistant associated lecturer. Okay, for the first 3-4 years he didn't feel, but later going on, he felt that he is undervalued. His capability is something different from the job what he is doing. Then he started feeling what way I can enhance my level. Then only he most probably liked the management. Then he has completed his MBA. Then later he has completed a PhD. Once he wanted to become Vice Chancellor of JNTU, but somehow he didn't. For this suffocation, what I am doing, this suffocation he was having, most probably that's what I feel. And out of this suffocation, he started feeling, then revengefully, he took a decision to start this college. And once he started this college, very small way, but he worked so hard, he kept his heart and soul, initially in the Kachiguda, later this palatial building and such a great institution he could able to make. That is, out of that he has come. He fully happy about this college because that suffocation and this result. That suffocation made him to say that I don't want a college just like that. I want a college of management. Why it should not be spoken the way about ISB, maybe in the second level minimum. That is why whenever he wanted to construct this building, he used to go and see ISB and how is the classrooms of ISB. Let me replicate that. 100% he tried his level best to do, and he has really created a great infrastructure of this management college. Many speakers told n number of people started management colleges in the last 3-4 decades. N number of people started management colleges in the last 3-4 decades. But only few people can able to manage the college to continue further. Very few people. Dr. Pratap Reddy Garu is one that great gentleman. 30 years back he started a college with a small way in the Kachaguda. He made such a big way in Medchal Road, and excellent manner is continuing. Creating infrastructure is a different job. Making a brand to the Dhruva College is the reality. How he could able to make such a brand? Just now one of the speaker told so many CEOs, one meeting, this, that. He never happy that how my students got what rank. The greatest job he has done is, in his life I can say, my students after the completion of management in my college, how many people are getting the jobs, or otherwise how I can contribute in them to get the jobs. The very big number of people, good number of people. Dhruva College is popular not because of the only building. Dhruva College people, one of the reason popular because good number of people got the jobs, their life settled. That is why you are able to see so many people, but not only getting jobs, has got a brand. This Dhruva College got a brand, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days of a year. His thinking is, who is coming from USA, who is in the management side, who is coming from Simboya, whatever you call it, who is coming from Delhi, who is coming from IIT management. Whoever comes, a popular, capable or successful businessman, he will be after him. He will see that he teaches to the students. I can say, if a year, 100, example was 100, their own lecturers are teaching, maybe 30 or 40 people, 30 or 40 periods might be there outside. So many people are coming. Now the students are hearing somebody is coming from USA talking nicely, somebody is coming a successful, and the students started talking about the college. One is they are getting the jobs, other is they are getting a different exposure. He doesn't have any other activity than his college. From day one, means last 30 years, is 90% he's thinking about the college. When his brain is almost tired, the second he is doing is that he wanted to relieve and relax by playing the cards with the family people and all. With this 30 years he made this college point of view fantastic. Before my conclusion, it's great that my brother-in-law, Dr. Pratap Reddy Garu, established a wonderful college. Many speakers told he wanted to drive. He doesn't want to use the brakes. The brake is there, otherwise he will try to remove the brake and he wanted to drive. As much as possible he wanted to go into the speed. Then he will not be happy to do the accident, but many times there is a probability of getting an accident. In this 30 years traveling, he drove this college without the brakes, with the speed, and so many accidents are supposed to happen, but these accidents has to be prevented, or if it is not going to be prevented, it would have damaged the college. There was somebody else is behind. Who is preventing this? Who is using these brakes? Though brakes were not there, forcibly has they have become the brake, and that is none other than my sister, who has become a brake to speed and made not to damage through these accidents. He prevented several accidents. That's why for every successful man, behind there is a woman. Many people might have heard this, but here little bit I wanted to add. For every successful man, behind there is a woman who says that what he is doing is wrong? Who says that what he is doing is wrong? Then this man feels that I am doing right. She inspires, she ignites, she mates. That's what my sister made my brother-in-law to do the work, and ultimately the whole institution has happened. This college has got a legacy, and I have got full confidence on my sister because she has got a great willpower. She is capable of continuing this legacy. She cannot alone do it, but she is capable of taking the contribution from whoever the teachers, lecturers are there. And there are 2 children from USA. They are also going to definitely make this college legacy to be continued. As I told you, from starting, Pratap Reddy, my Bavagaru, had a discussion with me, some contribution I have made. Even today also, I will promise to my Bavaya's family, in case anything, from my side also, any support, any advice is required, I am definitely, wholeheartedly, I will be ready to do it, to continue the legacy of my loved brother-in-law, who gives tough love. We enjoyed his tough love for the last so many decades, and he lived like a king, and he dictated in terms of while living this world also, nowhere he is compromised. And today we are celebrating his memories come, his achievements. I thank all the people who could able to participate and contribute in this ceremony. Thanks to one and all.
But I'll say just a few things and really very quickly. First thing, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళ జీవితంలో ఒక్కొక్క గురువు వచ్చి వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చే ఎనర్జీతో మన జీవితం మారిపోతుంది కదా. అలా నా జీవితము, మా కుటుంబం జీవితము కూడా చాలా విధాలుగా సార్ వల్ల మారింది. మీరందరూ కూడా అదే విషయాలు చెప్తున్నారు, మళ్ళీ అదే చెప్తే రిపిటేషన్గా ఉంటుంది, కాబట్టి దాని గురించి ఎక్కువ చెప్పను. కానీ అది కన్సిస్టెన్సీ ఇన్ పర్సనాలిటీ గురించి చూపిస్తుంది ఆయన ఎలాంటి వారు అని. అది ఒక విషయం. రెండవది, సార్ కాలేజ్ గురించి, ఫ్యూచర్ గురించి ఆయన ఏం చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు అనే దాని గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు కదా. సార్వి ఒక కలెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ కోటేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, అది ఒక బుక్గా పబ్లిష్ చేస్తే బాగుంటుందని నా ఉద్దేశము. రెండోది, ఆయన ఇనిషియేట్ చేసినది ఒకటి ఉంది, అందరికీ తనతో ఉన్న మెమరీ ఏమిటి అని మీరు ఒక పేజ్లో రాయండి అని చెప్పారు. నాతో రాయించారు ఆల్రెడీ ఒక డ్రాఫ్ట్. ఇది నేను సజెస్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను ఫ్యామిలీకి. ఒక్క పేజ్ ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళ దగ్గర నుంచి తీసుకుని వాల్యూమ్స్గా మనం పబ్లిష్ చేయొచ్చు. ఫ్యామిలీస్, ఫ్యాకల్టీ, స్టూడెంట్స్ మెమరీస్ ఎట్లా, అది ఫ్యూచర్ హిస్టరీ ఎలా క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది, ఇలాగే క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది కదా. మనం దానికి ఇక్కడ నాంది పలుకుదాం. మూడవది నేను అనేది, ఐఎస్బి గురించి చాలా మాట్లాడారు కదా. ఐఎస్బి నా ఇంటర్వ్యూకి నాతో పాటు పేరెంట్స్గా వచ్చారు సార్ అండ్ మేడం. అలాగే ఐఎస్బి మెజర్మెంట్స్, క్లాస్ రూమ్ మెజర్మెంట్స్ నాతో తీసుకున్నారు. ఓకే. ఫోర్త్ విషయం మనం చేయాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, ఆయన ఎప్పుడు నేను ఎంపీ అవ్వాలి అని అన్నారు లాస్ట్లో. ఆయన ఎంపీ కాకపోవచ్చు, బట్ హీ సెడ్ ఐఎమ్ అబౌట్ మెమరీస్ అండ్ లవ్. సో మెమరీస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రేమ, హీఈస్ అన్ ఎంపీ. యు ఆర్ మై ఎమ్మెల్యే, యు ఆర్ మై ఎమ్మెల్యే అన్నట్టు హీఈస్ అవర్ ఎంపీ. మెమరీస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రేమ. I think we should write those books. Thank you very much.